every single time I tell you guys and myself that this is the last time we are going to see Jeju Island being hyped up to the max in the solo leveling anime, I get what in Farsi we name that as Zaye Shodan, and that's the equivalent of saying that, hey, oh man, this anime is amazing, and like 2 seconds later it turns into absolute trash and a piece of crap. And every single time I have talked about Jeju Island being hyped up, and bro, they can't hype it up anymore and they can't change more than that. Suddenly something new appears, as it was the case with the newest anime episode. And welcome to the analysis of the 11th episode and the penultimate episode of Solo Leveling anime. That is pretty much exceeding all my expectations, considering that we have A1 Pictures at the helm animating this beauty of a manhwa. It's a power fantasy. Just don't go expecting monster level of psychological stuff or character development, or don't go expecting Vinland Saga, Vagabond, or any of that sort in this anime and in this manhwa. But what happened this episode, first of all, on the technical and animation level, the adaptation of chapters 38 through 41, and 41 is missing like a few pages that we are going to get adapted next episode, was an absolute blast. It wasn't a masterpiece episode. It wasn't like the greatest episode ever either. It wasn't even remotely close to be one of the contenders of the best episode in anime history or anything. But it did contain pieces of the, let's say, some scenes that were actually pretty much masterpieces by themselves. And I will actually point out the very obvious example of Igris and Sung Jin-woo fighting, but I'm not referring to the whole fight. I am talking about the very, very dirty little attack that Sung Jin-woo carried out on Igris. Igris is a pretty important character. You are going to see why later on, and even in the next episode too. So that sequence, the impact frames, the whole music playing in the background, the whole voice acting, even Igris screaming, that was the muted scream of Igris that you heard there. They managed to give us a glimpse of what can actually be done if A1 Pictures and the animation team do have time and actually do care about the product they are working on, as opposed to Nier Automata anime that we had. That sequence was pretty amazing in its execution and in conveying to us the emotions that Sung Jin-woo had when he actually did what he did. It was a pretty cliche anime battle shonen scene, and that's pretty obvious, but you don't really see in many battle shonens and shonen anime the MC, the honest, hard-working MC, just doing a very, very dirty little tactic on the, like, pulling a fast one on the opponent and being absolutely okay with that, since he realizes he can't beat that character, that enemy, that villain, that rival in a, let's say, a respectful and honorful, let's say, manner. We do see that happen, and that's a disconnect from Sung Jin-woo, the Sung Jin-woo that we knew, the weakest E-hunter, and Sung Jin-woo that is now a survivor and does whatever he has to do, even betraying the, let's say, honor code of fight with a knight that actually pretty much was following that chivalry code to the utmost by throwing away his weapons when he actually realized and saw that his opponent, being Sung Jin-woo, threw away his own dagger and was going to fight barehanded. It cost Igris dearly. We are going to see much more of Igris next episode and until the very end of the anime and the manhwa, let's say, the work. But it actually shows the departure of Sung Jin-woo from what he was. Going away from this scene, the other fight scenes we had were actually pretty good by A1 Pictures standards too, but something that actually caught my attention was some lazy drawing bits here and there that didn't really impact the overall product, but showcased that they had to make some sacrifices and choose the battles they had to battle in animating this episode at the very least. They did the same with the last 2 episodes too. It does seem that they do not have none of the studios almost has that time to try to animate everything like at the fullest potential, and this is no exception here with A1 Pictures too. And now here's the thing that I was going to discuss, leaving aside the whole technical part and stuff that we see about Sung Jin-woo himself. So again, we have Jeju Island, and I'm going to give you a little bit of spoilers from the manhwa. This is not going to spoil you in the way of you are not going to read the work anymore by the spoilers. This is a spoilers for something that you are probably guessing already, but of course people are going to go into Jeju Island. I do remind you, Jeju Island is an S-rank gate, so I do have to remind you again that A rank gates do require an S rank and a handful of A ranks supporting the S rank to be able to clear that. And no, 2 S ranks and a bunch of A ranks going to the Jeju Island, they are not going to do any, let's say, mopping up and heavy duty lifting there. And that's pretty obvious. Even though many of you might be confused as to how the heck they are going to Jeju Island right now, let me explain a little bit from the manhwa too. So the whole situation with Jeju Island is pretty close, and you Hunter x Hunter readers or Hunter x Hunter readers and fans probably realize that hey, it's pretty similar to the Chimera Ant arc or Chimera Ant. I do not know the correct pronunciation, my bad. So there is an island infested with ants, as you can probably see from the many frames we had showcasing that. Very aggressive ants that actually managed to drive away S ranks in different raids that happened over several years ago. So they haven't gone there in a long time, in like 3 years if I'm not wrong, in the manhwa. And the reason is that they decided, hey, we can't really handle that, so what we do is that we leave that place desolate and unpopulated, so the ants and the monsters there do run out of food supplies and get weaker and weaker, and we do some mopping up and just close the gate or whatever and just finish the whole their job there, and that's it. So here's the thing, in the manhwa they never go there until chapter 90 or 90 something, and that happens because something pretty similar to Hunter x Hunter happens. They are forced to go there due to a certain let's say incident involving an ant that had the necessary wings to fly to the mainland, and that triggered an emergency and an alarm to try to safeguard humanity from those monsters. So this is the spoiling part I wanted to do for you. So they don't go there, and they are forced to go there suddenly. They haven't been there in a long time. What is happening here is obviously these people are not going and it's just one guild. When they go into Jeju Island, it's multiple countries, and with close to 12 S ranks, accompanied by many other people, if I'm not wrong. So what is happening here is pretty much not a mopping up operation. It's not the main operation. It seems like they are going to do some recon there. This actually serves and ties pretty well into what happened in the manhwa recently, in the anime recently. They changed a few stuff, and one of the major things was that we got anime-only scenes of the S ranks talking about going on interviews, and here we see that the head of the Hunter Association tells them, hey, you guys doing the interviews helped us secure this operation. So there is a reason, there is a rationale for the new scenes here. I do not believe that they are going to eliminate 50 or 60 chapters worth of content, 50 chapters, or let's say even 40 chapters, that many things happen in them, just to push Jeju Island much sooner, for it to happen much sooner. That's pretty much that would be a pretty bad idea, and so far the anime team, anime studio, and the people working on the Solo Leveling anime project have shown that they are capable of rational thinking, and they have actually managed to improve upon what they had working with the manhwa and everything. And here's the thing, what I do believe is happening, these people are going there for a recon, and they are not going to be stranded there, because it should take about like at least something close to a month until some stuff happen and people are ready to actually go there. Sung Jin-woo can't go there in his present state. Just, it can't happen, and it can't do shit if he goes there. So that's out of the question. And these people can't be there for like 1 month and survive. That's just plain impossible, considering what happens in the manhwa and the threat level of those ants there. So here's the deal. They are going to do recon, they come back, and later on when they want to, actually they are forced to attack and invade the island, they actually go there with more knowledge and more preparation, and it seems more like a normal operation than just dropping all of them in there and trying to defuse the situation. It serves also as to hype up Jeju Island for the people that enjoy the anime, and they would actually look forward to seeing the anime and reading the manhwa, checking out the source material. This is a major deviation from the manhwa, no doubt about that, but do not be worried about the situation in itself. It's not gonna turn into some kind of fuckery like we had with Tokyo Ghoul until season 3, if I'm not wrong, that just the dude just went and did something that was completely different. Kaneki Ken, something completely different than what he actually does in the manga. This doesn't seem to be the case. I would not be that worried. Still, you better have that anticipation on the side of your mind or something that it could actually happen. But do remember, they are making the anime much better than the source material. This is probably part of that effort too. And some of the people you can see in this screenshot, the pretty big boba lady, I know she probably caught your attention, and our waifu, and also the guy at the top right is these are important characters that you have to see in the next let's say few chapters, and you just can't have them being completely busy in Jeju Island. It just doesn't work like that. So that's all I had to say on the matter. Next episode is the last episode probably, and I do hope that they announce that is a 2-core anime and we get like in 3 months and at summer we get the continuation of Solo Leveling. That would be pretty amazing, but yeah, we have to wait and see what happens. Thank you very much for watching the video, and as we say in Farsi, شبتون بخیر، روزتون هم بخیر.